What's up? Starting another news roundup here on the channel with more Washington Commanders updates. Another video that's always quick, objective, and fully up to date about the Commanders. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. We've got daily videos so you stay super informed and don't miss a thing. And smash that thumbs up. It helps a lot, supports the channel, and really motivates me to keep this content coming. All right, let's get into it. Big situation coming in. Analyst Ryan Smith just named the Washington Commanders as the perfect destination for Bengals edge rusher Trey Hendrickson. And honestly, the timing couldn't be better. Hendrickson had a tough 2025 season, playing only 7 games due to a serious abdominal injury that required surgery in December. But don't get it twisted. Even while injured, he posted a 90.0 PFF grade in quarterback pressure. This guy is a machine. In 2024, he was an All-Pro with 83 pressures, leading the entire NFL. With the Bengals signaling a reset, Hendrickson is entering free agency this March as the #1 free agent on PFF's rankings. Washington's defense was a disaster against the pass in 2025. We were among the worst teams in the league in explosive plays allowed. Von Miller led the team in sacks, but he's a free agent and already up there in age. We need someone in his prime. Hendrickson is 31 years old and, according to projections, could sign a short-term prove-it deal for around $21 million. With the Commanders sitting on nearly $80 million in cap space after the Marshawn Lattimore cut, money isn't the issue. Bringing in a guy who guarantees 10-plus sacks per season is exactly what gives our secondary breathing room to stop getting cooked every week. Adam Peters already tried to trade for Hendrickson last offseason, but he ended up re-signing with Cincinnati for 1 year. Now that bridge in Cincy looks officially burned. If Washington gets this done, Dan Quinn finally gets the engine his defensive scheme needs. Just imagine the impact. An aggressive pass rush with Hendrickson forcing mistakes from opposing quarterbacks, making life easier for our new defensive coordinator, Durante Jones. That's the move that puts Washington right back in the NFC playoff conversation. The money is there. The star is available. Now it's on Adam Peters. So, let me ask you, would you pay $21 million for 1 year of Trey Hendrickson, even coming off surgery? Or would you rather spend that money on 2 or 3 younger defensive players? Drop your take in the comments.
Switching topics, here's a big update coming in. The news that's making Commanders fans nervous comes from ESPN insider John Keim. Debo Samuel's contract is expiring and he officially hits free agency this March. According to Keim, this is the hardest and most important decision the Commanders will have to make this offseason. Debo was a monster in 2025. Even with the team struggling, he led Washington with 72 catches, 727 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He basically carried the offense as the WR1 while Terry McLaurin was dealing with injuries. But now we hit the dilemma. Debo turned 30 years old in January, and the cost to keep him is massive. Last season, Debo made $17.5 million. For 2026, he's expected to seek a similar deal, or even more in guaranteed money. The problem is Washington already invested big in Terry McLaurin with a long-term contract. Paying 2 elite-level salaries to veteran wide receivers could completely tighten Adam Peters' salary cap flexibility. The team desperately needs a vertical speed receiver, that true deep-threat rocket for long balls. Debo, even though he's still elite at creating yards after the catch, is no longer that pure deep ball guy. Internally, there's a growing feeling that the Debo window may have closed with the 2025 season. Debo has already made it clear that he likes the project in Washington and his connection with Jaden Daniels, but he's a professional. If a team like the Kansas City Chiefs or the Detroit Lions comes in with a bigger offer, the Commanders likely won't be able to match it given their long-term plan to rejuvenate the roster. The truth is, Debo Samuel was not the problem in 2025. He was the solution. But in the NFL, sometimes you have to let a great player walk to balance the roster as a whole. His departure would open the door to drafting a young receiver like Jordan Tyson, who we talked about before, or using that money to make a big defensive move like investing in Trey Hendrickson. The heart says re-sign him. The logic and the cap space say it's time to move on. So I want to hear from you. If you were Adam Peters, would you pay $18 million per year to keep Debo Samuel in 2026? Or would you let him walk, invest that money on the defense, and draft a younger, faster receiver? Drop your take in the comments. Your opinion matters. Now, let's close this out strong today. The cleanup in Landover spared no one. After firing Joe Witt Jr. and Cliff Kingsbury, the front office confirmed the promotions of David Blow and Durante Jones, but the move that shocked everyone was the departure of pass game coordinator Jason Simmons, who bolted for the Steelers. The instability is so deep that even franchise legends like Ryan Kerrigan and defensive line coach Darryl Tapp now have uncertain futures. According to The Athletic's Nikki Javala, the Commanders are now searching for a new defensive line supervisor, a clear sign that Dan Quinn has lost patience with the lack of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Let's be real, 2025 was a disaster, but is it all on the coaches? The injury luck was brutal, no doubt, but GM Adam Peters also carries responsibility. Betting on a 36-year-old Von Miller and expecting rotation players to be full-time starters like Dorrance Armstrong was a miscalculation that cost this team badly. Washington's defense finished dead last in yards allowed and among the worst in explosive plays given up. The brutal truth is that this roster has a talent problem. Changing position coaches doesn't fix anything if the players on the field don't have NFL-level speed. With only 6 picks in the 2026 draft and the 7th overall pick being the real premium asset, the Commanders must be aggressive in free agency. The resources are there, nearly $100 million in cap space if the right cuts are made. The priority is crystal clear. Washington needs an elite pass rusher like Trey Hendrickson or Jalen Phillips for Durante Jones's system to even have a chance to work. Without pressure up front, no secondary in the world can survive. The era of comfort jobs in Washington is over. Now it's win or be replaced. The coaching staff is new, but the roster is still the same group that won only 5 games. So let me ask you, do you think Dan Quinn is right to do a full clean-out of his assistants? Or is the real problem GM Adam Peters, who hasn't given this team enough quality talent? Drop your opinion in the comments. And one last thing, did you like the content? Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'll be back anytime with the next chapter of this saga. We're in this together, and let's go, Commanders!